Welcome, everyone, to Around the Book, episode 10. Yes, we've made it to 10 episodes somehow. I didn't think we'd get here, but we are here. Double digits. This week, I think, was a little bit better for all of us. I definitely college for me was better. NFL, I'm still struggling a little bit, but as you can see with my units right now, I'm kind of breaking even. So I'm hoping to be able to turn that around this week, but I'm not too upset. I'm still hitting on my college underdogs. So I'm excited about that. We also, before we get started, sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit there. We do have a special guest today. Alex, since Jake is on vacation, we had a guest come in. He's going to bring in a lot of knowledge. He's going to help us out here. We're still going to get some picks from Jake, and we'll go over those. But Alex, you want to introduce yourself a little bit and plug anything you want?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Alex Monfreda. I do work at the Raider Ramble. That's all I got to say. Simple
All
guy.
right. Sounds good. And we'll definitely get back with some of those picks. Obviously, you guys can see he says he's a cutie, so sounds certified for this episode. Before we get started into the current weeks, JT, Dalton, what do you guys got any gripes or any celebrations from this past week?
I am just accepting my trade-off of getting obliterated in college. like a fool, I bet against a member of the show, and I paid the price for it. The Utes just got massacred at home, and
Yeah.
I really thought that game would be a lot closer than it was because Utah is so well coached and they're so tough defensively, and Oregon just steamrolled them. So I will take that whooping in exchange for going 2-0 on my NFL picks, trying to get back to even here.
Yeah, I think I'm opposite of you. I'm obviously crushing it in college football, but NFL is still lost on me.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year.
Yeah, I finally, being on the other side of that Oregon pick, I finally had a good week for across the board. It was a good week. It was a really good week. Hit that West Virginia money line. Obviously, the Oregon pick was nice and safe. It was a really good week. If you read best bets, those picks were hitting. It was a really good week. Almost went 4-0 on the show last week. Hit both college, NFL, hit the upset, but couldn't cash in on Atlanta to cover thanks to Will Levis breakout game. Everything else hit, but just couldn't pull off that last one.
I think my biggest gripe is the Commanders. We were talking a little bit before the show, and they look lost now after all these trades that they've been doing. But I had them plus 6.5 last week, and obviously they lost by 7. So that was an awesome beat. We were tailgating at the Niners game and saw on the screen they were up 14-3, and I was like, dude, this is going to hit with ease. And then, of course, the Eagles just came back and kicked them in the teeth. So I don't know. I want to say I'm done betting on the Commanders, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that's my biggest gripe. I think I'm ready to move on this week and see what we can do. So I guess we'll just jump right into our college picks. I'm going to start off with my underdog. I'm going to go Northwestern money line at plus 168. Now, they're playing Iowa. Iowa's just like they play in quicksand in Iowa for some reason. Luckily for Iowa fans, Ferentz, the son, he's leaving after this season. So maybe they'll be able to turn their offense around. But I think this week there's going to be some turmoil. I think there's going to be some questions in the air. Northwestern's a weird team this year. They're 4-4. I don't think anyone expect them to have 4 wins this year. They're on a roller coaster as well of a win-loss type of deal for Northwestern. They won last week, so I was a little scared taking this pick, but Iowa sucks, man. They can't score. You have to go Northwestern on this one. Give it a shot at plus 168. So I like that. And then my lock of the week, I went with an alternate line. I went Ole Miss minus 3.5. It's at plus 104. They're playing Texas A&M this week. And, I mean, Ole Miss, their passing and rushing ability is statistically better than Texas A&M. So I think they'll be fine on offense. Their defense is what scares me a little bit. They can't play a team without keeping it within a touchdown. Like they have a hard time blowing a team out, which they should be able to do against Texas A&M. But that defense is just awful for some reason. I think it'll still be within a touchdown, but I still think they'll cover 3.5. Like I said, I did take it at an alternate line because it was at 3. A&M seems to struggle under the bright lights this year. They've lost to Alabama, Tennessee, Miami. I mean, what magic they did have in the years past, they just don't have it this year. So I think Ole Miss is going to end up winning this one. That's my lock at plus 104. So 2 plus money picks, I think, have a great shot at hitting this weekend.
Yeah, I like that Northwestern pick because, one, Iowa's only going to score so many points. Mm-hmm. So if Northwestern, who is sneaky better than we expected this year, if they get a break in their favor, like a punt return or a defensive touchdown, well, Iowa's only going to score, 13 points in the game? So you're already halfway to beating them right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they could just beat them straight up. I think Northwestern's at home for that game, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of reasons to like that bet. So I'm in on that one.
Yeah, God. Have you guys seen the total, what the total's set up for that game right now?
Yeah.
23.5 is my guess.
It's like 30.5, but yeah, it's absurd.
It's ridiculous. Iowa's just, like I said, it's like playing in quicksand when you play them. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
and there's still
the under is
6-2?
Actually tempting on that at 30.5.
Yeah, this could easily be a 10-6 game.
Oh, I love it.
A barn burner. Yeah.
Fullback dive, just straight down the field.
Awesome Big Ten football.
Got to bring the triple option in here.
Yeah.
Who was it coaching Georgia Tech forever who just always ran the triple option? Big Ten football at its finest right there.
But yeah, so I like those picks this week. I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to let it go before I jinx myself.
All right, I'll roll into my college picks then. For my lock of the week, I'm going to keep it in the Big Ten. I'm going with Nebraska -3 over Michigan State. Michigan State has proven to be the most gutless group of weenies in America this year. At every turn, they have folded. Against Michigan, they got blown out by 50. When they had a chance to beat Rutgers, they choked it away. They are just done. So a Nebraska team who's also been better than we expected, I think they're 5-3 this year. I think they're just going to go in and steamroll Michigan State like everyone else does. So they've packed it up in East Lansing, so I'm going to take those 3 points and I'm going to take them to the bank. And then for my underdog, I'm actually going to bet with a good team. I'm going Missouri plus 15.5 at Georgia. And this one makes me a little nervous because Georgia's been playing some really good ball lately, but Missouri is no Florida. They are no Vanderbilt, who Georgia's blown out the last 2 weeks. Missouri is 7-1, and they have really had the same schedule that Georgia's had, and they've been just as dominant for the most part. So I still think Georgia will win this game. I think they're the better team. I don't know if they're the best team in the country like they're ranked, but I don't think it'll be an absolute shellacking.
No, I think that, like, with that Georgia game, I almost went with that one as well, Mizzou money line, but, like, I don't know. It just scared me because I could see it, like, going completely sideways for Mizzou, but at the same time, I could definitely see them pulling it out. So I might low-key follow you on that one this week because I think it is great odds on it.
Yeah. I'd be interested in had I not already banned the SEC this year.
Well, you're down to like the Sun Belt conferences you haven't banned.
Yeah.
Well, the SEC is the only conference I've banned. I've just banned the SEC and Duke. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my banned list right now.
The whole SEC.
The entire Southeastern
It
Conference.
means less.
Yeah.
It does.
Did you say that Nebraska game was -3?
Yeah, Nebraska's
Yeah,
-3.
That is ridiculous. I would have thought at least minus like 7, 7.5, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Nebraska's coach, his name's escaping at the moment.
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule, thank you. We know he flopped in Carolina, but everywhere he's been in college, he's been very successful.
Yeah.
And he's turned a pretty bad Nebraska program around to one that looks like it's going to lock bowl eligibility this week. So
Yeah.
I think with that on the line, they're just going to keep on rolling.
That's a great pick. All right. I'm going to move into my college picks here. For my lock this week, I'm going to keep doing the same thing I did last week with the Pac-12. Like I said last week, there are two teams that have kind of separated themselves with Washington and Oregon. They are the most complete teams in that conference. So I'm taking Washington -3 this week against USC. Value's not great at -118, but I feel like Washington actually is competent on both sides of the ball. USC is not. They don't know what defense is. The Trojans just literally don't play defense. They have been absolutely horrible the last 3 weeks. I mean, the way they got dismantled by Notre Dame. They played they played Utah tough, but the fact that they gave up as many points as they did to a Utah offense that is really rough, that it was bad. And then the way they played Cal last week, I mean, they almost got beat by Cal, and Cal's about as bad as it gets in the Pac-12. I don't see this being very close. I mean, USC has the offense to keep up, and it'll definitely be a shootout because Washington, their defense can be shaky at times, but I see this being at least a touchdown. I see Washington winning this by at least a touchdown, if not double digits. They should cover 3 points comfortably. And then for my underdog pick this week, I'm going with Charlotte at +160 for the money line against Tulsa. The FCS teams like Charlotte and James Madison, some of these others, they're coming. The FCS is making an impact in these mid-major conferences, and Charlotte is already looking very competitive in the AAC, which is one of the better mid-major conferences in college football right now. They've looked competitive in most of their games this year. Meanwhile, Tulsa's coming off 2 blowout losses in a row in the conference. At 160, I feel like this is a toss-up at best, and at +160, you gotta take Charlotte.
Yeah, I like that. I almost took James Madison this week because, I mean, like you said, those conferences are just playing unreal football. It's like actually really fun to watch.
Yeah,
compared to some of these bigger names this year.
James Madison, I think, is gonna bold prediction. I think I'm gonna put in a future bet on this, probably at the end of the season. But I think James Madison makes the playoff next year, first year eligible. With it being 12 teams, I think they get that at large spot from the non-Power 5 teams.
Yeah, I don't know what that roster turnover is going to look like next year, but if it's pretty similar to this year, I can definitely see that happening.
I imagine the recruiting is only going to get better now that they're bowl eligible.
Yeah, I agree.
Am I a coward for being wary of that Washington USC game? Like, you're right.
No, I get it.
Washington or USC has not been good the last several weeks, but Washington's looked bad the last 2 weeks as well. I mean, they only put up 16 points against Arizona State, and they've just been sputtering. So
yeah,
I don't know. I trust Michael Penix to light up this USC defense because Cal just put 50 up on him. But man, I am wary of this game.
Yeah, I would be worried if it wasn't USC's defense. USC's defense is so bad, I feel comfortable.
I think USC is 1 or 2 losses away from Caleb Williams being like, I'm sitting out the rest of this year.
Yeah.
It's,
only way
it's
he
bad
won't-
there.
He probably has some NIL deals that are contingent on him playing.
Yeah.
So that might be part of it. And also, if he's still in the Heisman running, being
I don't
there's
see how
not
he
much
is.
more- yeah, there's not much more lucrative than being a 2-time Heisman winner.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of that diva air to him. With, I might not come out. Depends on who's gonna be in position to draft me. And his dad's made comments, and I don't think he wants that label going into the draft, especially with Drake May gaining steam as the number 1 pick. We just want to have good football talk and not any of that nonsense as part of the discussion come draft time.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, now everyone's been waiting for Alex's picks here.
Someone
So
who
Alex-
isn't under 500
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah. Alex is undefeated.
Okay, so I am undefeated. That's going to change very quick because I am not like you guys. I do not watch college football all day. I very scarcely watch college football. The most I watch college football, I actually study it intensely at the end of season, but I never do it in season. I just got too much shit to do. So that said, I'm not going to try to pretend I'm like you guys and I fucking study all this shit. Because, when you try to pretend like that, everybody knows when you're faking it. And I'm not going to pretend I'm like that. So anyway, that said, here we go. No laughing, please.
All right.
So my lock, Iowa, minus 200 versus Northwestern.
Okay.
I think that I haven't seen much of Iowa, but I've seen clips of their defense, and I like it. Offensively, I don't think they're shit, but I also don't think Northwestern is shit. And that's what it comes down to, is I don't think Northwestern is shit. Okay. Now, underdog. This is where might be some comedy, but no laughing, please. For my underdog, Maryland versus Penn State. Money line. And it's set at plus 270. I like Tua's brother. It's his brother, right? Most
Yeah.
positive it's his brother. Yeah, all right. I like Tua's brother, and I am not high on Penn State. Part of that is because I'm a Michigan fan, so I'm just trained to hate them. I like the odds here, and I could be completely wrong, man. I mean, I could see every world where Penn State just comes out and fucking shits on them. But again, I don't give a fuck because I am not the college guy. So I like those picks, and if they work, I look smart as fuck.
No, so like
That's all there is to it.
I do like that Maryland pick. I almost went with that because Penn State every year looks great, and then they lose one, and then they just shit the bed the rest of the season. So
As
I like
a Penn
that.
State
Franklin
fan,
effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
So I like that pick. I actually almost went. That was almost my pick for the week. I just couldn't pull
Thank
the
you,
trigger
thank
on it.
I can see it.
Well, I got balls. It's because I got nothing to lose, man.
Yeah. You're undefeated, so we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, I like those picks. Iowa. I mean, I could see Iowa winning this. I don't think it. Like I said, I see it being like a 10-6 game. Like it's going to be
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
crappy.
gonna be low.
Big Ten. Like no one's going to have fun watching this game. All right. So we'll move on to the NFL. You could probably, if you want to go ahead and go to the bathroom or anything during this, go ahead. What I'm about to say is probably not going to happen. I got cocky last weekend because my college bets hit, and I was like, man, I'm about to go 4-0 this week, and quickly went 2-2. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my lock of the week. I'm going to go Texans versus Buccaneers over 39.5. This is an alternate spread at minus 122. It was at 40. I just got afraid with this game that it could be – I see this game be like 23-17, and I was afraid it was going to push, so I went with that alternate line at 39.5. Baker and Stroud have both looked better this year than I think everyone expected. Stroud's obviously, in my opinion, the best rookie quarterback this year. Baker's still putting up numbers. He kind of got a bad rap. I don't think Baker's like a top-tier quarterback in the NFL, but I think he's a pretty solid player still. I think both of them could light it up this weekend. The Texans' pass defense is ranked 30th, which against Baker Mayfield is going to make him look like Mahomes, Tom Brady type person or type quarterback this week. So I think the score is going to go up. So at 39.5, I just like that. Plus, the Texans have scored 30-plus points a couple times this season. So this over is very enticing. Like I said, I took an alternate line at minus 122 because I was a little scared of this one, but I still also could see the 40-plus points going way past 40 and nothing to worry about. Now, my next one is my underdog, which is the Panthers money line at plus 128. They play the Colts this week. The Colts are a team that will play to their opponent's ability. We'll see the Colts go out against the Chiefs, the Ravens, teams like that, and then they'll either give them a game or they'll win it. But also when they play these teams like the Panthers this year, they look like really crappy. No one, you just don't know how they pull out some of these games. Now, the Panthers finally got their first win of the season last week. I think they can roll with that advantage or roll with that momentum and possibly make this into a 2-game win streak. Who knows? I just think the Panthers are plus 128. The odds just were a little weird to me. I think it's going to be closer than we think, and it's just going to be a coin flip game. I think the Panthers could definitely take this one.
I think the only thing, because spoiler alert, I'm going to be betting on that Bucs game as well.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that makes me concerned about that over bet is that Laramie Tunsil did not practice today.
Yeah.
And against Todd Bowles' defense, who is very vulnerable against the pass, but if that pass rush can get to Stroud, it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
But I do think Stroud's going to put up a lot of yards in this game. I think Baker will move the ball reasonably well. So overall, I'm in on that bet. I really would wait till maybe Friday to make it till I get more clarity on what's going on with Tunsil.
Completely understand that one. Yeah, I was a little weary of it, but I don't know, it just stuck out to me.
No, all your points make sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I will roll into my bets. And as I said, I'm going to stay with that Texans-Buccaneers game. I'm going to take the Buccaneers as my underdog this week. They are +3 on the road, and I just think they're a much better football team than Houston. Houston's defense, not very good. I have no respect for it. Their offense, a little good. CJ Stroud, very good. QB1, shining like we knew he would. But I think for all the reasons you said about Baker Mayfield and this defense, Mike Evans is scoring plenty of touchdowns. Chris Godwin is doing Chris Godwin things. I think the Bucs are going to move the ball fairly well, and I think they're going to keep CJ Stroud out of the end zone, but I think he'll get a lot of yards. I think he'll move the ball efficiently because Todd Bowles is a coward. He'll just play bend, don't break defense all game. But I do think it'll be enough to limit the Texans' offense and the Buccaneers get a must-win game under their belt.
Yeah.
And then
this definitely is a must-win for them.
Yeah, because they have real aspirations of winning the NFC South or a wild card. They are very much in the thick of the playoff race, and that's kind of the expectation for them. Texans, this is all kind of a bonus. I mean, no one expected the Texans to be good. Granted, no one expected the Buccaneers to be good except for we of the Tampa media type people who follow the team. But I mean, this is a developmental year for the Texans. This is CJ Stroud's rookie year, Will Anderson's rookie year. They are ahead of schedule right now. So if they are in a playoff hunt down the stretch, that is so much bonus. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then my lock this week, I am going Bears Saints. I'm going under 41.5. I don't get the spread or this total. Tyler Badgett, still the quarterback for the Bears. Justin Fields did not participate in practice with a thumb injury. Saints defense, good. Offense is awful. And that only helps the Bears stop them because they just traded for another pass rusher, Montez Sweat. And they already have Yannick Ngakoue. So if they can get by that turnstile of left tackle and get to Derek Carr, this is going to be a rock fight of a game. Neither team is going to move the ball well. So I really like that 41 under.
No. I like that one.
I like that Bucks pick. I think the Texans like you said, the Texans are already overachieving this year. I mean, I think a lot of people probably had them winning 3 games all year. So, I mean, I think if they win 3 more games the rest of the season, it'd be pretty surprising.
Yeah, that'd be a great season for Houston.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 6 wins. That'd be a win.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll get into my locks here. I got Raiders Giants under 37.5 at -112 for my lock this week. Full disclosure, I locked this pick in last night around 8:00. So a lot has changed since then. A lot.
What was your pick? Sorry,
Raiders Giants under 37.
Oh, okay.
And I locked that pick in last night, but I'm sticking with it. To be honest, I don't think it really changes much. The Giants still don't have a good offense. The Raiders defense is still playing great. If anything, this head coaching change should have the defense playing that much better. Because I think they're just going to be a little more fired up to play for Antonio Pierce. And then offensively, I mean, I don't think a whole lot's going to change in 4 days. You know, the jury's still out on whether or not Aiden O'Connell is an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo.
He
We still have yet to figure that out. I mean, it can't get much worse, but I mean, I don't think these changes are going to all of a sudden have the Raiders going out and scoring, 25, 30 points. The Raiders offense still hasn't scored more than 19 this year. The only time they broke 20 is when their defense got a safety. It's literally the only game they've broken 20 points. I don't see either of these teams getting to 20 this week. So I think under 37.5 should hit pretty comfortably. I see this being at best a 19-17 game, something like that, but it's going to be low scoring. And then my underdog pick this week, I'm taking the Seahawks money line at +205 against Baltimore. You got 2 of the better teams in the league going head to head. I think it'll be a good game. They're very similarly built in their styles where, they're not, they're built on the defense. But I think Seattle's a little bit more complete. And the biggest thing here is the value. Honestly, I think when you have 2 teams playing as well as they are, I think it's probably a toss-up at the end of the day. And at +205, I'll take a coin. I'll take a team getting +205 in a coin flip every time.
What scares me about that pick is the AFC North has been beating the absolute crap out of the NFC West this year. The Bengals have went undefeated against the NFC West this year so far. Browns destroyed the Niners. Like it's been bad. So
but that's eventually gotta.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the Seahawks can do it this week. Yeah, and then Alex, before we get to you, I do want to get Jake's picks in real quick because I forgot about that. He also had the Raiders and Giants under 37, and then his underdog was the Titans at +124 against the Steelers.
Who did we get his college picks?
Yep, I got his college picks. He also has Oklahoma -6 against Oklahoma State, which I don't know about that one with me because I think Oklahoma's finally shown their true colors. I know. I'm trying not to because I know. And then he's got Houston +154 money line against Baylor. I really like that one because Baylor is trash this year. All right. Sorry about that, Alex. If you want to go with your NFL picks.
You're fine. So if you'll notice, I'm in a different place. I had to relocate because some shit happened. But all right. I'm going to piss everybody off here. I'm going to piss all of you motherfuckers off. First of all, here's my lock. All the shit you're saying about the Texans, they're overachieving. They are overachieving. But here's the thing about overachieving. They're overachieving as in they're doing better than we expected. They're not overachieving as in like, wow, they somehow miraculously got these wins and it's not going to continue. Like, no, that's not what's happening. What's happening is they're better than we expected. That said, my lock is the Texans against the Bucks. The Bucks, who I'm low on to begin with. I think Baker Mayfield is a bottom 5 quarterback. I'm sorry, Bucks fans. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry, man. But listen, man. I got Texans lock money line minus 145. What was said earlier on this podcast about the Texans defense is not good. Bullshit. I'm sorry. It's bullshit. DeMeco Ryans has that unit looking fantastic. Will Anderson is having, defensive rookie of the year type season. It's probably going to go to, it's him or Carter, really. But, that defense looks great. The offense is better than we expected. Tank Dell looks great. And the Bucks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to hear that. Well, I know one person doesn't want to hear this. I am not high on the Bucks. When we talk about the Texans were underachieving, when the Bucks were, what were they, 3-1 when they started? I said, what the fuck is going on? The Bucks are 3-1. So you want to talk about overachieving? That is like insane. And that's not the overachieving where they're better than I thought they were. That's the overachieving where I'm still like, this team still sucks. How the fuck are they 3-1? They suck. They're not changing my mind. Anyway, Texans is my lock. I'm sorry. That was a big ass rant. Now, I'm going to contradict myself in a lot of ways with this one. And this is why. I love what you guys were saying with the lock of the Raiders and the Giants. I love it. But I'm directly contradicting that by saying my underdog is Giants, money line, plus 105. And a lot of moving parts here. And personally, I actually think there's a good chance the Raiders win. And I think that they're going to come out fired up and they're going to a lot of things we've never seen before. But in saying that, that is, I don't know if that's the fan in me speaking but regardless, even if it is the fan in me speaking, that's a whole lot of like, I think. That's not a lot of like, based on this is going to happen. That's just a whole lot of like predicting out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to bet on that based on predicting out of thin air. What I know for a fact is the quarterbacks are terrible on the Raiders roster. And this goes into what Dalton was saying. Like even if they can create a spark, it's like, how's it really going to happen? Because Devontae Adams is great and they got all these weapons, but like quarterback play is just so bad. A miracle would have to happen. And I'm going Giants here because basically no matter what happens when they play, I'm going to be happy. If the Raiders win, I'm happy. And if they lose, I win money and I'm happy. So that's that.
I figured we'd have 3 Raiders picks this week with 3 Raiders fans. So I like that. Now, I do agree. DeMeco Ryans, amazing defensive coordinator. I think he's going to have that defense looking right eventually. Right now, statistically, I don't see – I think they're making great plays, but I don't think it's consistent enough. That's what scares me a little bit. But I do agree. I think their defense will look like great by the end of this season, especially next season. But yeah, DeMeco Ryans he's going to get him going right. I agree with that.
He just need talent. It's not a very talented unit.
No,
it's not a very talented team.
Yeah,
it's
that's
young.
The only
it's young.
thing with that roster.
Yeah, it's young.
See, this is where I just disagree, man. I get
it. I get it.
I think that with the Texans, sorry for going on about this, but I think with the Texans, the thing is we're caught up on like we didn't expect this, and that's what we're hanging our hats on. Is we didn't expect this, but like it's here, like it's here. Yeah. You didn't expect it, or you did expect it. It doesn't matter. It's here. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what I want to say.
No, I get because I fall into that category of I didn't expect this because they were so young. I thought they were going to win 1 or 2 games this season. So I think they're playing to their ability, and we just didn't realize it, like you said.
And I will add one thing, because a great point was made too that I completely skipped over. And actually, when I made this pick, I wasn't even thinking of it. Laramie Tunsil, his health and what happens with him in the game is going to be massive in that. And that's something I really wasn't thinking about.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I like those picks. I figured we'd have 3 Raiders picks this week. I agree. I think they're either going to come out and look amazing because they're finally getting rid of the boogeyman, I guess you could say, Josh McDaniels was, or the weight that was holding the team down. But yeah, I like that one. All right, so those are our NFL picks.
Did you get Jake's NFLs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had the Raiders and Giants under 37, and then he had the Titans under it's the underdog money line against the Steelers, which that one we're either going to see a little bit more of the same from last week, or I don't know. I think it's a question mark. I don't know what to expect tomorrow with the Titans. But we do have some additional picks here, not for football, but for NASCAR. But before we get into
We're gonna do the
those,
parlay first.
oh yeah, I was going to do
Yeah.
the parlay here for our anytime touchdown parlay. And once again, we fell short. But like I said, one of these are going to hit this week or 1 week, and then we're just going to break even for the year. So that's all that matters. We have CeeDee Lamb going against the Eagles this week. Give CeeDee Lamb the ball, man. I just don't understand why you don't. He's an amazing wide receiver. I mean, just a great athlete. Joe Mixon, he had a pretty good game last week. They just were running all over the 49ers. Devontae Adams. If you don't give Devontae Adams the ball this week, you just need to give him to someone else. Like, you're just doing this man a disservice. And DeAndre Hopkins, he finally was having a good time with Will Levis this past weekend. So I really like those. I think, knock on wood, this is going to be the week, in my opinion. This is the week. So I like those picks. I'll get the odds on that. I'll tweet those out tomorrow just because we're still waiting on a few of the odds to roll in this week. But we're going to go ahead and get into some oddball picks this week. If you want to go ahead and get us started, Dalton. I know you have
All right.
something a little bit off the
So
wall.
we've got the NASCAR championship this week. And yeah, NASCAR, not always that fun, but this is the championship. So you know they're going to be going real fast and real left. And you know, it's funny. I used to be a bigger NASCAR guy, kind of gone away from it a little bit, but one of the 4 drivers in the championship this week, William Byron, there are great odds on him. He is at, I believe, plus 205 right now to win the championship. Basically, the way it works is you've got 4 drivers out of the rest of the field. Whoever finishes the highest out of the final 4 drivers wins it. And I like William Byron for one reason only. He drives the number 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports, replacing the legendary Jeff Gordon. And that's all that matters. Also worth noting, North Carolina driver. They have a long history of winning championships as well. So he's got a lot going for him. And I like this pick. And I like the value on it. And if you got nothing to do, if your favorite team in the NFL is not having a great time on Sunday, you don't want to watch a blowout, throw the race on, have some money on it, make it interesting.
What who does Hendricks what's her
They're a Chevy team.
Chevy? All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I know that a lot of sportsbooks will put like a you can bet on which company wins. I'm going to go Chevy this week, and I'll put out the odds on that.
There
So
you go.
I'm going to follow you up on that one. I'll go Chevy. I did Toyota the last time, and it hit for me. So we'll go Chevy this week or this time. But I think, Alex, do you have any crazy picks for us, or anything else you'd like to talk about this week, or any other NFL insights you might have?
I don't have any crazy picks, but I'm not gonna lie. When Dalton said the little bit about because he drives 24, I thought that was homage to Charles Woodson. You kind of let me down there, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry.
I was thinking Charles Woodson, and then you said Jeff Gordon. I'm like, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's all I want to add.
All right, yeah, Charles Woodson loved him.
Well, it's just another reason to pick William Byron this week.
Yeah,
True.
Raider Nation, get behind the 24 car.
Yeah. As an Ohio State fan, I have respect for Charles Woodson. So.
Oh, we're beefing. We got beef then.
I know we got beef, dude. I know. But yeah, so I guess we'll go ahead. We'll end this episode. Alex, once again, we really appreciate you coming on, man, and filling in for Jake. If you want to, I know you said you write for the Raider Ramble. Was there anything else any other projects you might be into, or anything else you're doing in the media world?
No, man, that's it.
All right, well, go ahead.
I just want to say, no, you're good, man. I just want to thank you guys for having me on, and it was a blast and pretty cool. Because, like I said, I'm not really all that into college during the season, so definitely learned a lot, and it was cool.
No, yeah, man. I like your picks, so
yeah.
You seem like you know what you're talking about in college with your picks, so yeah. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man. If we have any openings in the future, we'll definitely reach out if you're ever interested in coming back on. Once again, everyone check him out on the Raider Ramble. He writes articles for them. Once again, we'll tweet out the anytime touchdown parlay tomorrow before the Thursday night game. That way we can get the odds on that. Let us know if you follow us, if you're upset with some of our picks, if you like them, what you think we should bet on. Let us know. We'll definitely look into that, comment on it. Thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll tune in next week, same time, 9:30 Eastern. Hopefully everyone's bets hits this week. Everyone comes back 4-0. We'll definitely give a recap on Alex's picks as well. That way we can see how our guests go, because I know Shane, last time he came in as a guest, I think he went 3-1 or something along those ones. So our guests are definitely kicking our asses. So we kind of have to try to right the ship there. But once again, thanks everyone. Thanks, Alex, and have a good weekend.